it's interesting that we get so protective of like certain things. We get so wound up, and again, when I'm saying we, I'm counting myself in that mix because I have a tendency to think that way sometimes too, and I'm like, why the f- do I even care?
I think that there's something here. I don't have any proof that there is, but I think that the idea of not trying to tear people down or having the habit
Mm.
of not tearing people down. This can be you in conversation with friends or you, even when you're thinking about somebody else. Do not try to tear that person down in terms of what they've been able to do or what they've been able to achieve.
I'm such a dirtbag. I do it all the time.
Well, okay, making some funny little jabs here and there. That's different.
Yeah.
But like we make jokes about that shit all the time. Like, oh, yeah. But we're not out here really just shit talking somebody.
But for me, that's where my brain goes to a lot of times first, and I have to pay attention to that. So for me personally, I gotta like, even something as simple as like liking somebody's post.
Mhm.
It like costs me way more than it should for me to make a post for me to give somebody a like button.
Yeah.
And I have to talk myself out of it. Like, don't hate on what that guy's. I mean, obviously, like just because I don't hit the like button doesn't necessarily mean that I hate it either. But I somehow think it's like in comparison to me, or it's in competition with me. And if I don't like it, then it's like, dude, I'm sorry, but fucking just give up because that has 150,000 likes. And you not giving them one little vote is not going to boost your own shit up.
Yeah.
It's just not good. It doesn't work that way. But I have some disordered thinking when it comes to that. So I have to kind of walk myself through that. Be like, no. Be pumped for that person because they fucking earned it.
I remember that started happening when, so like I love watching basketball, you know, like since I was a kid. Everybody would always talk about like, oh, did you watch this cartoon or whatever? And be like, nah, I watched, I listened to the Kings game last night because we didn't have cable. And on top of that, like, Kings games were never televised. So I would sit there in the kitchen and listen to every single game. Like, what other fucking third, fourth grader does that? Yeah. But anyway, when it started is because I would look up to these guys and they're like in their early 20s. And then all of a sudden, like, damn, that guy got drafted and he's younger than me. Like, fuck. Like, I'm not doing shit with my life. You know, and so that's when that kind of like the resentment, that loser mentality started coming from, is because like then, you know, you don't take ownership, you start blaming other people. And it's like, well, he was too, you know, he was too talented, or he was born with all this. Like, he didn't have to work for it.
Hating on someone because they're wealthy, hating on someone because they got a new car, hating somebody on because they got a new pair of fucking shoes, or just whatever the hell that is.
Yeah,
it's like, man, we're sometimes so wasteful.
It's so funny. So I have to bring this up because this is perfect. My cousin, he just like randomly out of nowhere posted on Facebook, like, dude, I'm so happy that the the Uber court thing is all over with. You know, some of you might remember, like, I was in a car accident. He was an Uber driver. Turns out, like, I won the case. So he mentioned he got like $500,000, and he kept going on and on and on. And then he's like, and for everybody that just got pissed off, what does that say about you? He's like, yes, this is all made up. And I was like, oh shit, that was great. I was just like, because I'm just like, dude, that's so funny though. But because yeah, you're right. A lot of people were probably already hating on him without even knowing, or you know, that doesn't affect you, right? But they're just so upset that somebody else got ahead.
Are you still trying to diet on chicken, broccoli, rice, dry turkey? It's no fun. And a lot of people avoid steak, but one of our sponsors, Piedmontese Beef, has amazing cuts of steak, some that have really low fat, like their flat iron steak that has 4 grams of fat and 80 grams of protein per steak, and then their ribeyes, which are just amazing, juicy, and fatty. So there's no reason to diet with chicken anymore. Andrew, can you please tell the people how to get Piedmontese?
It's over at Piedmontese.com. That's PIEDMONTESE.com. At checkout, enter promo code Power Project for 25% off your entire order. Head over there right now.
It's a little off topic, but like, you know how sometimes somebody's like they're like, I hate that person because they're famous for no reason. And you're like, what do you like? Why? What's the why does there have to be like a cool reason to be famous? Why? Like, there's there's obviously enough reason for someone to be famous for it must have mattered to enough people to elicit a response that people think this person's famous, like the Kardashians or something like that, right? It's like I hear people say stuff like that. I'm like, why does it? Who really fucking cares?
Yeah.
They are famous. Get over it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at
They're
least
famous and they're rich.
Kim did something. though.
Yeah. A
But-
leaked video. That's
leaked
what.
quote.
Yeah, we need to
That show's
leak
on
our
purpose.
video.
Not yet.
We have to hit a certain amount.
We don't
of fame
have a
first.
video, right, guys?
Wink.
No, we don't have a
wink.
video.
I forgot about that.
a
We don't
video.
have one yet.
Who was that
No video.
TikToker at the UFC fight that like everyone was hating on?
Yeah.
Some chick. I don't know who she was, but
That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about.
like a lot of people were mad that she was like like somewhat of a reporter type of a thing, but she was just like a TikToker. I
Mhm.
don't know who she was.
And you know what the funny thing is about that whole situation? Okay, so this woman, her name is
something Ray or
I understand.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, Addison Ray.
Addison Ray.
But this kind of falls in line exactly with what we're talking about. Addison Ray, famous on TikTok. The UFC invites her to do some interviews, okay? But they're literally just for TikTok because she has a great TikTok following. So they're like, okay, let's have her interview some of these fighters. And she was supposed to interview Dustin Poirier because they're from the same hometown. So it was like,
Oh.
they're from the same hometown. She's TikTok famous. Let's do a little collab so we can whatever.
Sick.
And hella people that went to school for broadcasting and hella people that like they're
Oh.
like, I went to school for 8 or 6 years and she's over here just TikTok famous
Dude,
and she's
okay.
doing this and that and that. And the funny thing is that she wasn't even doing that on TV because she made a post and people were thinking that she was going to be on TV doing interviews, but it was just for TikTok. And hella people
That's
got mad,
great.
even
Now-
though they were wrong. Just like your story. It's not, she wasn't on TV interviewing. This was just for TikTok.
Dude, oh my gosh. So like I don't know who she is, but now I'm a fan
Yeah.
because I did see a tweet. Now like when you said that, she's like, I'm so proud of this moment because I went to school for 3 months for reporting, whatever the fuck it's called, communications maybe. And I was just like, what is this all about? But now that as you say that, she like leaned into it. So that's, I don't know. And the fact that she didn't actually interview anybody. That's
Look at what's going on
great.
with boxing right now. You know, where these
Oh,
people that
man.
aren't boxers have popped into boxing, and people are getting all bent, and they're like, they're not real fighters. It's like,
Mhm.
I think they're having like a real fight, and they're gonna punch each other, and
Yeah.
it's like on TV. Sounds kind of real to me, you know. So it's interesting that we get so protective of like certain things. We get so wound up, and again, when I'm saying we, I'm counting myself in that mix because I have a tendency to think that way sometimes too, and I'm like, why the fuck do I even care?
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll just give somebody a pat on the back, not worry
Same.
about it.
Same here. But we catch ourselves. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
aware. So you catch yourself.
Yeah.
Because like, think about this. Logan Paul goes and does a fight with the best boxer. Almost a lot of people say he's
Yeah.
the best boxer ever.
Mhm.
And a lot of boxers who've been doing that their whole life, they're like, fuck that. That's not cool. Whatever. Well, instead, how about you think about how you can get so notable like Logan Paul so you can draw eyes to your fight? You got to build social media.
And
or
is that an
something.
opportunity that you even care about? You know what I mean? Like, do
That's
you
the
want to?
best thing.
Do you want to get into boxing?
Yeah.
Like, are you? You know, what is it you're trying to do?
Mhm.
I just don't. It's amazing. I mean, I'm guilty. I get caught up in it sometimes too.
Yeah.
How come I'm not like that? How come I didn't get that recognition? How come I didn't get that spot?
Mhm.
It's like, well, because you didn't fucking do anything for it. You did nothing for it.
Yes.
You did zero for it.
Mhm.